The bull run is back on. My voice is gone. I just had to put a cough drop in halfway through this video because I lost my voice. This is like my 6th video today. There's some crazy Bitcoin numbers that I had to make another video. I was done for the day. I have another video on price predictions coming out for Bitcoin. But we just had a historic day. This is really cool. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you can see future videos just like this. This is like my 4th or 5th video of the day because there's been so much happening. So if you like that kind of thing, you can pick and choose which ones you want to watch, but you can hit subscribe so you can get all the future videos. There's also a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade cryptocurrency on leverage. You can trade underneath the video. Apparently, I'm not logged in anymore, but you can use that link underneath the video. You can start trading cryptocurrencies. They have a lot of different cryptocurrencies on there, and you can use different forms of collateral. So you can trade Bitcoin with Bitcoin. You can trade Bitcoin with USDT if you just want to make fiat gains by trading Bitcoin. It can be pretty cool. There's also a link down there to HGAalgo, which is an indicator that I've created with a few other people to tell you when there's bullish momentum and bearish momentum and when to dollar cost averaging into the market. It's really good so far from everything that I've seen. Now, the spot Bitcoin ETFs broke an all-time volume record today at 2.4 billion. This is quite impressive. This is right after we had those low flows from last week. Like it seemed like the flows were picking up and then all of a sudden they died down a little bit. Now we have a record inflow. Now, that's great, but we want to know how much Bitcoin was actually bought. Now, we don't have all the data right now, but this is some of the updated information. A lot of companies hit records today, and the people at the companies are talking about it. Like, they're tweeting themselves, which is really cool. I mean, that's part of the reason I want to make this video. Like, during the bull market, my dog likes to bark a lot upstairs during the bull market. She's excited too. No, during the bull market, we have to appreciate these days and we have to be here together, which is, I think it's really cool that we can do this. 226 was a record day for volume. Will be interesting to see how the volume converted to cash flow on such a strong day with Bitcoin up 5%. Today's volume numbers. IBIT had $1.3 billion in volume. GBTC 817, which something crazy about GBTC here in a second. FBTC Fidelity 575 million, ARKB 260 million. I mean, that's a lot. That's a $250 million in a day. BITB 81 million, and there are a couple more, but we won't go through them. Here's ARKB with a massive day. So ARK generated 130 million in new assets today. So they had about 260 million, which means a significant amount of that was inflows, obviously. If they had inflows of 130, that means they had probably about 65 million of outflows and then 195 million of inflows, which netted out to 130 million. That's crazy. What's their fee? I'm not even sure off the top of my head. I think it's 0.3% maybe, which means they just generated 400K in fees in one day of trading. That's pretty good, right? They can hire a couple analysts just with the inflows that came in today. BITB with a 37 million inflow and 681 Bitcoin purchase. This is Hunter Horsley, who is the CEO at Bitwise Invest. I mean, this is a lot too. He says on here they have 1 billion in AUM. I'm sure that they have more than that, but imagine that. Like, if that's all that they have, 1 billion. They just got 3.7% added to their AUM in one day. EasyBC, 8 million. GBTC outflow, the lowest so far with an estimated only negative 22 million. Now that is fascinating because they had 817 million in volume and barely any in outflow. So there are people buying GBTC right now. I mean, there are more people selling it, but almost equivalent on an $800 million day for there only to be estimated 22 million out. Like, some people are just buying this because this is what they remembered that they should buy, GBTC. 226 is 153 million net positive already, even before IBIT and FBTC. This is crazy. So these are awesome numbers. Let's take a look at some other interesting stuff. Be careful. Just a reminder, I talk about different exchanges on the channel, but the majority of your crypto should be in cold storage. There was something about Bitforex, which I've never heard about really, but they halted user withdrawals. Just keep in mind, this will happen less during the bull market, but still going to happen. A lot of shorts are being liquidated, almost 100 million in short liquidations over the last 24 hours, which means basically they just have to go cover. They have to go buy back. So that's pretty cool. And Norway just had Bitcoin hit a new all-time high in their currency. You can see here in the peak of the last bull, Bitcoin was worth 559,000 of the Norwegian kroner. Now it's worth 573,000. Pretty cool. Now this is kind of important too, because I mean, some people might just say, oh, it's just Norway. Norway has the world's largest sovereign wealth fund. You know, we always talk about the Middle East. We always talk about Saudi Arabia, Qatar, stuff like that. They have a huge wealth fund, and a majority of their portfolio is in stocks. They actually have some allocation towards crypto too. Let me get to that in a second. But they said that that their tech stocks performed really well. The equity investment return was 21% for last year. They have 71% of the fund in equities, and they're huge. Like I said, they had a record profit of $213 billion. Sorry, I had to put a cough drop in. Voice is getting a little bit dry, but they had a really good return last year. Now, they have some Bitcoin indirectly right now. For example, they do have an allocation towards MicroStrategy. This is from 2020. So this is way back in time. This is like when they just started buying Bitcoin, MicroStrategy. But they did say that they had reservations about the Bitcoin ETFs. At least this is how it's being framed by AM Watch, which I never heard of, but I did find this interesting. I saw this when this article came out a while ago. But basically, they just said that they're cautious. They need a thorough evaluation. Now, it seems like they're pretty forward thinking. They hold companies that hold Bitcoin. They're very tech focused. And they are happy to get those kinds of significant returns, like in tech stocks. So they may be interested, after evaluating Bitcoin ETFs, they may be interested in buying them. Maybe they are buying them. We don't know who's buying these ETFs, but it could very well be them. Or they could be the ones that are buying CleanSpark and Coinbase. Maybe they feel more comfortable with the picks and shovel plays. Maybe that's why Coinbase is up 17% today when Bitcoin's up 5%. Or CleanSpark's up 24% when Bitcoin's up 5%. So I don't know what exactly is being bought by who behind the scenes. We don't know exactly what all the ETFs the ETF numbers are. But this is a historic day, and I think we should revel in it. I think we should appreciate it. And sit back and relax a little bit, you know. Have a cold one if you need to or if you want to. And we should just enjoy this, because there will be more days like this. There will be really rough days, dude. Just to be clear, there will be really rough days, but I think the flows are going to continue, and this could be maybe nothing compared to some of the days that we have during the bull run. We could have $10,000 candles, $15,000 candles in the bull run. Now, of course, make sure that you do your own due diligence. I'm not telling you anything that you need to do. You have to do your research yourself. If you do want to check out Margex, there's a link underneath the video. There's a link to the algo. There's a link to a lot of stuff down there. I appreciate you guys watching. If you want to know what I'm doing too, there's a link to the Patreon underneath the video. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.